I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? Who? It's your partner, man. You know what I'm talking about? What's good with the people, folks? How is y'all doing? You know what I'm talking about, y'all? How is y'all doing? You know what I'm talking about on this what was it, man? Oh, Safe Signal Saturday. You say Safe Signals? Yeah, this ain't gonna be no long video. Y'all know my ha ha. You know what I'm talking about? Ken in the pen, man. All my folks incarcerated. All my folks who ain't on, everybody on bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up. Keep pushing. We gonna get through it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Swing that finger. Worldwide INC, Worldwide Incorporated, Worldwide. How you gonna say what that mean? Hey, I mean everybody included. Man, shout out to Ndugu, man. You know what I'm talking about? Mike, Cutthroat, all my you know what I'm talking about? Lil Rue. Not Lil Rue, Lil Rue. You know what I'm talking about? All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, everybody on bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get to it. To get to it, make sure you go get that stick up in stores. Funk in the Diatron, you know what I'm talking about? You come get them from me, but if you just don't know me, you can't find me. Everything else, Phil, man, you go get you some of them things off of Amazon. Make sure you copy your hardback, man. Yeah, man, I don't promote no drug users, drug sellers, alcohol consumption. Don't take a sip of the sippage, man. Don't you do nothing. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no crime. Don't promote no violence. Don't promote no domestic violence, man. No, man, I don't promote nothing, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, all I promote is y'all go ahead, do what you're going to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how much of it we got, man. You know what I'm talking about? But you can bear like myself, man. I am not prejudiced. Good bear like myself, man. I ain't got nothing against the Cecily different, man. No, man. They was talking to a good bear like me, man. I ain't got nothing against no money. No money, man. Nah, man. Me, yeah, me, man. I ain't got no, nah, man. I ain't got nothing against nobody, man. I don't even know if I said my correct spiel, man. I got so much on my mind. Man, it's been going so fast, man. I got to get back on track, man. Yeah, I've been so caught up in some other stuff, man. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even had, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I don't, man, I just love everybody. You know what I'm talking about? I'm on the question. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. He ain't know what I'm talking about that. He ain't know what I'm talking about that. He ain't know what I'm talking about that. He ain't know what I'm talking about. Back to you too, come here. You with me? Check it out, man. He know what I'm talking about. Come fuck with a nigga one time. You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna be a real short video, man. They say Safe Signal, man. I almost forgot. Remy Carmel Crest Rap. You know what I'm talking about? I said, I almost forgot. What's that, bro? Man, I almost forgot. It was hella shit, man. But I told you I'm in the middle of a grind, so I can't even. So, man, I'll catch up with it when it's time, man. You know what I'm talking about? I got other shit going on right now. So I'll be trying to squeeze all this shit in, man. One day I'm going to show you how you do this shit, even doing other shit, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever. You just got to do the most with your time, folks, or find a way to get it done. You know what I'm talking about? Even when you don't feel like doing this shit. But Safe Signal, man, you know what I'm talking about? They say, bro, what you talking about? All that shit y'all be doing now, that Safe Signal ass shit. You say, bro, you always know some real shit, bro. Listen, I came from a time where, you know what I'm talking about? Like I told you niggas yesterday, I come from the crack era. We didn't wear our Jordans with mask era. You know what I'm talking about? But that's all we got now, man. You see this computer right here is a paradise for a sucker. They say, well, Brett, it's a paradise for a sucker. They say, Brett, can you elaborate? Why, certainly. You know what I'm talking about? And see, before you had the internet where you could just come hide yourself, don't nobody know who you is and all that shit right there. You could just talk shit from a distance and all that. So you couldn't do that in the days where I came from. You know what I'm talking about? Because even if you didn't tell a person, you told somebody else. You was talking about somebody. And when it got back to that person, they going to say who it came from. You said this. You know what I'm talking about? So anything that you ever said, you had to be it always got traced back to you. You know what I'm talking about? Or whoever said it. You get what I'm saying? So people were more, they was a little bit more weary about what the fuck they said because they didn't want certain shit getting back to them if you said certain shit about certain people. You know what I'm talking about? But now, see, the internet became a sucker's paradise, man, a mark's paradise. You know what I'm talking about? Because you could just hide in here and say anything. You know what I'm talking about? So what end up happening is, you know how you bitch ass niggas do now. Y'all just get mad, and for some reason, notice now when niggas get mad, it's never no action behind it. It ain't like a nigga fight or we ain't even got to fight. You know what I'm talking about? We don't even show each other enough respect to call each other on a one-on-one. Bro, you know how many motherfuckers come up here daily to YouTube, Facebook? I'm talking about this shit now. Just a social media platform, nigga, and air out their grievances with some of their closest friends or family members and shit, bro, like it's everybody else's business. Do you know how many money, man? That's just the whole shit in the world. So you mean to tell me all this shit that you got to say and shit, you can't get this motherfucker on the phone? Y'all can't hash that shit out in the background? No, you can't. You know why? Because they done showed you another behavior. They done showed you how to get attention off airing out your differences and your grievances and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Even if it's a motherfucker that you supposed to be this close to and love. Nigga, something straight out of comic book, bro. Y'all will do anything. Folks, y'all will follow anything. So now you just waiting for your turn to air somebody out. Because that's how y'all fight now. Y'all fight under the witness protection program. You know what I'm talking about? So if it is a real problem, you know what I'm talking about, where this shit finna get serious, you know what I'm talking about, we gonna come up here and send one of them safe signals. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna come up here, threaten you in the same point, detail everything that's going on, you know what I'm talking about? But now we got video footage of this. You know what I'm talking about? Safe signal. So now if anything do happen to me, guess where the police can start looking? They could just go back to my last video because I told them everything. I was real in depth, where y'all was from, how the beef started, all that shit. Safe signal. Saturday it is. And you can act like that's not what we doing, but that's all we doing. We playing WWF right now and shit, bro. I ain't bullshit with you. We up here, this camera became Mean Gene Oakland and shit. You know what I mean? Mean Gene, and I better not see him. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? All that shit right there, man. Niggas, something straight out of the comic book, folks. I ain't bullshitting with you. Yeah, I ain't bullshitting with you. Niggas, something straight out of the comic book, man. Safe signals. So what we do is, even the people we know, love, or just people we know for real, you might not even like somebody, but we be having access to a conversation with these people, not in front of everybody. You know what I'm talking about? And we done got so boozy in this day and age that we don't even give people that liberty. Because a lot of y'all just be doing shit for attention. So the people, like, a lot of that shit be fake. So the people that y'all up there talking about, they didn't even know you had a problem until you went public with it. You know what I'm talking about? Because for some reason, like I said, we have in our head that we bigger than what we really is. So we be on some low-level celebritism shit. You know what I'm talking about? Trying to come with the exposure. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't bullshitting with you. Nigga, something straight out of the comic book. Straight out of a comic book, man. So, on the safe signal Saturday, you might be doing that shit. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. But I'm just letting you know, bro, ain't nothing player about that shit. You might think it is because it's cool, but it ain't nothing but a safe signal, bro. You know what I'm talking about? You basically trying to buzz everybody in on the problem you have just in case it get out of hand. You know what I'm talking about? You really trying to inform the police or whoever else. You know what I'm talking about? You really trying to get somebody else in trouble. Because a lot of time we don't even be knowing what's going on with people until somebody else start talking about it. You know what I'm talking about? That's just like if you went into it with the mob, nigga. I'm talking about the old school Italian mob. And you making videos and shit talking about the mob after me. So if something happened to me, you know who did it and all that shit right there, bro. That's a cry for help. You trying to get sponsored by the police. You know what I'm talking about? And we just good for that. Yeah, safe signal. We good for that. Cause that's all we do now, bro. We let everybody else in our business because you know people just nosy now. So if you come up here and you act like you mad, showing hella aggressive at the camera and shit, and I'm gonna tell you the boostiest shit about that, especially if you know somebody in real life. And this is how it gets to be safe signals. Cause once again, this computer shit is the motherfucking paradise for marks, right? You notice how everybody be hella aggressive and shit with their camera. When you looking into it, you saying hella shit, and that's the liberty that this computer gives you. You know what I'm talking about? It gives you the liberty to say a whole bunch of shit you wouldn't say in real life. You know what I'm talking about? That artificial ass shit. So you can stay mad on the computer. You can stay talking shit on the computer. But I don't think you can hold a conversation like that in real life with that much intensity, and I don't think you can stay like that. You know what I'm talking about? I think that shit is just made for the computer. Because a lot of us be talking about people in real life, and it just got famous to do that now. You know what I'm talking about? You wondering like, man, if you this mad, you ain't wouldn't seen that nigga? Because you way too mad on this camera. That aggression you came with, man, that's the kill to be killed energy. You know what I'm talking about? And then we see a motherfucker in real life, we shaking hands and shit, we ain't, man, that shit boozy as a motherfucker, folks. It might not be to y'all, I'm just gonna tell you how I see it. And it just goes to show you niggas not really mad. We just playing parts. Safe signals. Saturday it is. That's why we could come up here and change the definition of what a play is. You know what I'm talking about? We could come change the definition of what face card is. You know what I'm talking about? That's only nerds, bitches and niggas. Cause you got a bunch of them nerd bitches too, bruh. You got a bunch of them bitches, bruh, that was growing up. They was never in the in crowd. Now they done sit there and put on some of them fake eyelashes and them motherfucking wigs and shit. And they up here acting like they a part of the cool kids in the society. You know what I'm talking about? So now they acting like their opinion matters. So that's what a lot of these hoes be doing too. That bitch is a nobody ass motherfucker too, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? And everybody up here, they acting. That's why everybody be trying to make it big on one of these social media platforms. Because if you do that, it seems like in the world and society, like people respect your opinion. Now, you almost feel like an elder of society. Man, you don't get the fuck out of here. That's why most of y'all don't know who y'all self is. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all trying to be something to somebody else and you don't even know who you is. Something straight out of the comic book. That's why you need other people's opinion to validate the way you feel about yourself. See, me, I don't need you to tell me that I'm raw, to know that I'm raw. You know what I'm talking about? So you need people to tell you raw and shit because you don't know how raw you is. You know what I'm talking about? So you need other people to tell you just to make sure. Because in your head, you might be thinking you lost it. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, man. I know what I am. Yeah, I'm not guessing. You know what I'm talking about? I know exactly what I am. Safe signals. But I just said that on the Safe Signal Saturday, man, because we good for coming up here sending these virtual teddy bear threats and shit. We good for coming up here airing people out and shit and coming up here airing our grievances and all that old shit. And I'm just telling you, I know it's popular, but if you got somebody number that you could talk to in real life, you know what I'm talking about, and you come up here to make y'all business, that shit boozy as a motherfucker. And that just goes to show you the state of the people. They trying to create a story or they looking for the next story, folks. They looking for their 15 seconds of fame. I ain't bullshitting with you. So you just be careful about that before you let motherfuckers come around you and get an eye full of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Because even when you let motherfuckers come around and get an eye full of shit, guess what the eye full of shit they gonna talk about? Yeah, they gonna talk about that shit. They ain't gonna talk about how you was a stand-up person. They ain't gonna talk about all the solid shit you did and shit. They gonna bring up something else. They gonna say y'all didn't have no tissue or something. Y'all was up in there using Jack in the Box napkins and shit. They gonna say something like that. They ain't gonna say all the solid shit. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't. They gonna say something to discredit you. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't bullshitting with you. Yeah, they gonna say something to discredit you, nigga. Your AC didn't work, or nigga, they gonna say something to discredit you, bro. They ain't gonna say nothing to solid shit, bro. They ain't gonna tell nobody how you was taking care of everybody. They ain't gonna tell nobody how you was going through some fucked up shit and you was still holding it. They ain't gonna say none of that, folks. They not. They gonna find something else to talk about, man. You know what I'm talking about? You had on the same drawers yesterday. You wore the same pants yesterday. You know what I'm talking about? Your shoes was dirty. You know what I'm talking about? You see when he had on, that nigga had on some blue sweatpants with a green. Like, they just gonna say something to discredit you, bro. They never going to safe signal Saturday. They're never gonna speak on you in a positive light. They not. All the shit they could talk about, this is what I was telling y'all yesterday, man, or last night. Bro, these people ain't gonna never go find an accomplishment. They will never dig up an accomplishment. They only gonna go try to dig up your mishaps. They don't never try to find nothing that you could be talked about in a positive light. They not, bruh. They gonna use anything they can to discredit you. Just remember that. Safe signal Saturday, man. You feel me? And they gave motherfuckers this computer for that, bruh. So now everybody just use sending safe signals. You control a motherfucker all day. You can sit around a motherfucker that don't even want to fuck with you. And just keep on like a nah, just keep on talking. You know what I'm talking about? We living in the day even when you not wanted. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got enough common sense to go on about your business because you grown and you can stay wherever you want to. Now imagine if we was in the real world. You know what I'm talking about? You see how motherfuckers just come bombard you in your life and they won't get off your grass and shit like that. Now just imagine you in the real world. It's your house. Do you think a motherfucker will come sit on your grass in front of your house doing that shit? Guess why? That's why so many people hide in the computer and just say the most whatever they say out their mouth. Because they don't have the liberty to do that shit in the real world, bruh. So they save all their frustrations for the computer. You feel me? Safe signal Saturday. You feel me? Because it's impossible. Just imagine this. All that shit y'all be talking in the computer and how all that tough talk. And for you to have no felonies, it's impossible. Because the way you talk in your mouth right there, that ain't no mouth with a motherfucker with no felonies. Because just the way you talk could get you into a felony. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you motherfuckers that be sitting up here talking all that old big shit and this and that and that and that. Come on, folks. I told you on the Safe Signal Saturday, a motherfucker gonna big up anything they do, and anything they don't do, they gonna act like that's is a bad thing. You feel me? They gonna big up anything they've ever done, bruh. So, like, say if you one of the motherfuckers that ever bought subscribers, which it ain't nothing wrong with, which I ain't never did, I'll never do that shit. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it, though. I don't give a fuck one way or another. It don't make me no difference. You feel what I'm saying? But if you ever did that, you'll find a way to big up it. You'll find a way to come tell it how that's not that bad. You get what I'm saying? You will. And if you ain't did it, you'll tease motherfuckers who have. Safe signal. I told you, we just looking to come from any angle like a bitch. Nigga, if you ever ate spaghetti before, nigga, we'll tease you about that. Nigga, I ain't never ate spaghetti, nigga. This nigga done ate spaghetti. You know what I'm talking about? We just find anything. That's how small-minded we is. That's why we can come up here, nigga, come up here and say, nigga, I was the first one eating caramel ribbon crunch flat on camera. You know what I'm talking about? We'll try to hold on to that shit like it's an accolade, nigga. Like it was the first time you made $50,000 or something, nigga. Safe signal Saturday. Niggas is small, bruh. I ain't bullshitting with you. And there ain't nothing you can do about that. You know what I'm talking about? If you're a small-minded motherfucker, bruh, you gonna get small shit is going to amuse you. You know what I'm talking about? Safe signals, bruh. That's just like that live shit. Just peep how many motherfuckers got their own channels, bruh, but they stay in other people's lives. You know why? Because they've already accepted the fact that they can never be nothing. So for the only reason, the only way for them to be important now is to go hop in other people's lives that they see bigger than their self. You know what I'm talking about? So now they can still be a part of the show, even though you nobody. It's just a way to savor the flavor off of whatever you're doing. Don't nobody pay attention to me on my shit, so I'm just gonna go fuck with everybody else shit. So at least then I could try to get some attention. Cause I can't if I'm just sitting up here talking, nobody pays me attention. So I gotta go find other people and hang around other people and start conversations and shit. Because I can't go live and start this own conversation on my channel and it'll be anybody over there. So I gotta go everywhere else to be heard because I'm not big enough to do it myself. That's all that screams. See, I can't go on my own channel and just start a conversation because nobody listens to me. I'm a nobody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find other people that people listen to, and I'm going to try to start the same conversation I can't start on my own channel over there. Safe Signal Saturday. I'm telling you, if you knew like I knew, that's why you just ignore people. You know what I'm talking about? Because look, when you ignore people, they can't even say you hating on them. When you ignore people, you'll show the rest of the world how the other people are delusional. That's all you got to do, bro. Let people talk to themselves. Because all they trying to do is get your attention. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know how them bitches be. You know what I'm talking about? Let a bitch put on a new skirt. And you don't tell her how good she look in that skirt. That bitch gonna find a way to bend over every kind of way she can in your face. She is gonna find everything she could do to get that attention, man. You know what I'm talking about? But Safe Signal Saturday, man. I just believe if you got a motherfucking number or you could just, it don't make no sense, bro, to have all these unnecessary ass conversations. If you got a problem with somebody, that's between you and that person. But now we like to come run up here and use the world for the crutch. It ain't even the world, it's just all the nosy people. What? You know what I'm talking about? And let them start creating narratives and shit and talking about what they heard. Don't nobody know shit. If you wasn't there, you'll never know. You know what I'm talking about? Safe signals. But we gonna keep on coming up here with these cameras screaming shit out. We just gonna use this camera as a crutch. This camera saves us for having to say that shit in somebody's face. We could just put it out there, you know what I mean? That's why it's easy for motherfuckers to come up here and act like, man, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Whoever got a problem with it, that's easy to say behind the camera. You think a motherfucker would say that shit if everybody was out there for real? Hell no, bro. You don't get no credit on this camera. You might do from these miserable people, but if you ain't been talking that shit around other people where other people had action to question that shit, nigga, in real time, you don't get no credit for that shit, bro. You just talking that shit. If you ain't talked that shit when it was just like a threat of real danger around, nigga, and you just met that shit head on, bro, you don't get no credit for talking. You don't get no credit for typing shit, bro. Nah, you can't come up here on the computer, nigga, send out hella viral teddy bear death threats and shit and act like you didn't check somebody. Nah, bro, you actually had to check somebody, bro, when they had the right to be checked or not. You know what I'm talking about? Where they had the right to reject it, respect it, or respect it. You know what I'm talking about, man? Yo, man, you don't get no credit for no viral threats and shit and viral conversations. You don't. And on this Safe Signal Saturday, that's the last thing I'm gonna say, bruh. Because we just got too many conversations going on. Niggas come up here to the computer to hide inside the conversation. What are we talking about today? Bro, you know a conversation don't mean something? Why is everybody talking? If you really felt that way, don't you think you'll be putting your energy into at least changing your part of the world so it could be the way that you always talking about? Or we up here just hella bored, ain't got no friends in real life, everybody through fucking with us, and we just playing. You know what I'm talking about? We in the fantasy world. What we gonna talk about today, guys? You know what I'm talking about? Man, y'all so straight out of comic book, bruh. But realize the people always talking and complaining about shit is the people who don't got that shit, bruh. Only people complaining about a bitch is a nigga who ain't got one. Only bitch complaining about a nigga is a motherfucker who ain't got one. Motherfuckers who complain about shit. Only motherfuckers, do you realize, like, you done grew up, right? And you might have wanted some cookies or something, you know what I'm talking about? So you done ran in the store and did all that shit. We so fucked up in perception. Do you realize, like your mama and them told you, nigga, don't you be asking for everything you see. Do you realize that's a broke motherfucker's mentality, though? Rich people don't tell their people that. Rich people could just run in the store and grab anything they want to. That's not a bad thing. That's only a bad thing around broke motherfuckers, bruh. Because when you do that, it embarrasses them that they can't buy it. So they put the guilt trip on the kid. Don't you be running around here asking for everything and all that shit. That's only a broke motherfucker's mentality, bruh. Rich people could run around and pick anything up, or not just rich people. People who could buy shit could run around the store and just pick up shit. Do you realize that? Y'all don't. Your perception be fucked up, bruh. You'll let somebody talk you into their philosophy. But that's all that was. That was a guilt trip. You know what I'm talking about? Because it embarrassed the parent when the kid run around there talking about, Mama, I want one of these, and the mama can't buy it. So you put the guilt trip on the kid. I told you about running around here. A rich motherfucker just say put it in the cart. You know what I'm talking about? What was you grew up to believe? What do I know? Only you could prevent forest fires, man. And with that one right here, if you don't remember that Delta, man, always remember. It don't cost nothing just to show a little bit of that love, man.